Startup show.
We still need an intro. We need an intro video. Hi, everybody. My name is Todd Kelly, writer, creator of Sheldor the Defender, Project Titans, Atlas Rising, and a few other titles that are still stuck in my head and haven't made it to the laptop yet, but we will get there one day. It won't be this week, though, because apparently there's a hurricane coming, and that's going to be fun. So we'll deal with that and all those fun things. Yeah, so now with us today on the Eff Yeah podcast is absolutely amazing voice actress. So we're going to let her introduce herself in a moment because I am not going to do it justice, and I know that. But first, I'm going to kick it over to my host, let him introduce himself, the bearded wonder himself. Take it away, buddy.
I am. Hey, guys, welcome back. It is Nick, the self-proclaimed this podcast pop culture connoisseur.
Ooh, we're going to test that today, are we not?
I'm gonna pull a swerve and go, AKA Todd's handler at conventions, AKA Todd's bodyguard.
Sure.
AKA Todd's bearded brother.
Yeah, there we go.
And I think that's enough.
All right.
Not quite an astronaut yet.
Yeah, not quite an astronaut yet. All right, and then our amazing guest, one of the coolest guests that we've had to this day, and so just beyond excited about this, I'm going to let her introduce herself, so please take it away. Very excited about this.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. That made me excited. I'm Tiffany Grant. I'm a voice actor. I've worked in lots and lots of anime. The thing people know me for the most is Asuka from Evangelion. And so lots of anime, several video games, and I am happy to be here. And my cat really keeps trying to join the podcast. So
it won't be
at some point.
Yeah. If they do, they do. Don't worry about it. If you hear a large crashing sound in the background here, it's my dog going through the dog door. So all good. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Beyond excited. We will go ahead and take this real quick. So next, September 9th. So three Saturdays from now, two Saturdays from now, three. We are all going to be at Gray Ghost Comics over there on the right in Tifton, Georgia, at their 4th anniversary event. So beyond excited about that. So what brings you to Tifton, Georgia? How did that all come about?
Well, I believe I was chatting with them at a convention that I did in Columbia, South Carolina, back in January. So I think that's where I met them. I may have actually met them before that as well at TigerCon, which is down in Valdosta, Georgia.
Yeah,
so I might have met them down there. I don't remember exactly. I do a lot of conventions, so it's not so straightforward for me to always remember where I met who.
I get that. Not on that level in any way, shape, or form, but I do get that. Very, very cool.
A lot of times the conventions, they just kind of meld together and it's difficult to remember which one was which. But I know when he approached me about doing the event at the comic book shop, that was that. And we actually tried to get something going earlier a few times, but it would always conflict with some other event that I had going on. So it worked out this time. I'm very happy to be going there. Should be fun.
Good.
Well, I'll tell you, you're in for a treat. It's an absolutely awesome store. We've done the anniversary show for them a couple times, and they pull out all the stops. It's very cool, and they have the whole town comes out, so it's a good time. All right, Nick, I'm going to pass it over to you. Take over.
So, Tiffany, I don't know if you're still there. It looks like the video froze a little bit, but so how did you get into voice acting? Did we lose her?
I don't know. Hey, Tiffany, can you hear us?
Heard her a little bit.
I did too. I think we lost her. Is the siren us or her?
Oh no, that's the TV in the opposite room, in the opposite end of the house. I'm surprised you heard that. That's impressive.
I just heard a siren. I mean, you got a good mic, buddy.
Hey.
Hey, Tiffany, any luck? How you doing? Yeah. Well, we'll give her a second to get that settled. But yeah, that's really cool though. So I didn't know that they had met at a con, so it's really cool. I didn't know. Andrew, it's Scott pulling getting out there and greeting and connecting and doing the fun things at cons.
That's what they're about, right?
Exactly.
For the most part.
Sure. Yeah. Shenanigans. And shenanigans. Well, at least we got the clip where we hyped Grey Ghost, right? So
hey, that's all right. We can.
Yeah, we'll be good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Coming back. You ready?
Yep.
We'll see. Adding. Trying to come back. Tiffany, can you hear us?
Oh.
We got video again for a second.
Yes. Okay. We're back.
There.
We're back. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah.
I'm sorry. My phone
Don't be.
is from my router. So, I mean, it really can't get any closer to my router. And I have full bars on my Wi-Fi. So
it's technology.
I was just saying, if it makes you feel any better, it's been us before, and we're like doing the interview, and like one of us will just drop off, and it just So, I lost her again.
Well,
all good. It happens. I still feel bad on that interview we did with Rebecca, where I kept dropping off.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while we wait, have you watched Ahsoka yet?
Episode 1.
Episode 1, you didn't watch the second part? Man.
No, look, dude. No.
This is brutal.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Hey, don't be. It's all good. It happens.
No worries.
I have full bars on my Wi-Fi, and my phone is directly adjacent to my router. So
it's all good.
It happens. It's technology.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
I used to work for Verizon, so if you have Verizon and we want to blame them, I can go on a 10-minute rant. We can just blame them.
Oh,
it's all good.
Well, let's blame them then.
Yeah, so it's all Verizon's fault. Yeah, it's Verizon's fault. Yeah,
it's all Verizon's fault.
Freaking Verizon. They're trying to get me back. It is what it is. So,
damn those people.
So
but
I think I own some of their stocks. So
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, all right. All right.
So
okay.
You're good. So Tiffany, how did you get into voice acting?
Well, my background, like most actors, my background was in theater. So I did, theater all through, like from elementary school all the way up through high school, college, the whole thing. And, after that, I was doing community theater. And I always did kind of have an interest in voice acting, even if I wouldn't have known that exact term, voice acting. But I got a call one day from someone that I knew junior high, and he knew that these people had just started up an anime company in Houston, which is where I'm from. And he said, they're looking for actors. They're going to do a Japanese cartoon in English or whatever he would have said. This is almost 30 years ago. So right. I tell people is 100% what he did not say was dub an anime. Those are not words that any of us knew how to say. So anyway, but he told me about it. He said they're looking for actors. So I went to the audition. I got hired, and that was almost 30 years ago. So that's how it all started.
Man. So
an actor going to an audition.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I know you said so anime was the first one. Had you looked into doing anime before that, or have you always wanted to do anime voice acting?
Oh God, no, not at all. In February of 1994, no, definitely not. Who knew anybody could do that? Or nobody even knew the word anime. Some people maybe. Mm-hmm. I always tell people when our first video came out, I went into Suncoast at the mall. They had a section about this big that had anime titles. They had about maybe 5 different tidles. And it was like half a shelf. It wasn't even a whole shelf. Mm-hmm. And the sign on the shelf said Japanimation. So, yeah, no one knew the word, or virtually no one knew the term I mean, that's, no one was calling it anime. So no, definitely not. That's not anything that had ever entered my mind at all. I just kind of, when I was a kid, I used to, with my friends, we would make up stories and do voices for different things that I was recording on a tape recorder. And that's as far as I ever got with my voice acting.
Hey.
So I was never really pursuing that or had any idea that I could pursue it or would pursue it, or how do you even do that? I don't know. I was just doing theater because that's all I could figure out how to do was be in a play. Okay, let's be in a play. Yeah, that was all I knew how to do. So no. And then when I got that phone call about doing a voice in a Japanese cartoon, I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's totally do that. I'm on board. Count me in. So went to the audition. I got hired. It was amazing. So my first paid acting job actually was working in anime.
Huh.
That's cool.
That is cool. Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome.
February 12th, 1994. That was the date that I got hired.
I love that. That's absolutely really cool.
And never look back.
Yeah.
That's right. I know. I didn't know that would really lead to anything. I thought, once in a while, maybe we do that. The director of the show, Matt Greenfield, he said that, eventually we hope to be doing one of these every month. That was his goal. I have never forgotten that. Yeah. Like doing an episode of anime every month. So that was lofty goals for the time. Yeah. And within a year we were doing so much more than that. But that was the dream.
So what, I guess kind of take us through a little bit of what that experience is like in terms of filming. I mean, like how much, when you go in and you're doing, recording, how, like, are you recording an episode? Like, how long does it take to record an episode? Or is it a situation where you're going in because, I mean, all the animation is done. So like how, are you getting multiple episodes done in a day? Like, I mean, what's that timeline like?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the answer to that question has changed dramatically over the years.
Fair.
Because, the number of episodes that we used to record at one time 30 years ago, we would record 1 or 2 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
If it was like a 6-episode OVA, like Golden Boy, they would come out 1 episode on a videotape. So 1 30-minute videotape. Yeah. If we were doing a TV series like Blue Seed or Evangelion, they would have 2 episodes. So that's all we would work on at one time.
Right.
But then when it moved to DVD, and a DVD would have like 4 episodes on a tape. So we would do 4 episodes at a time. And, now they come out like a whole season, basically. It all comes out at one time.
Right.
So, you'll do 12 episodes. Usually they'll come out like you'll do it in like 2 chunks, 12 or 13 episodes at a time. So that has changed dramatically. And as far as how long it takes, well, I mean, for an actor, that really depends on how much dialogue your character has in that episode.
Fair.
In one episode, I might be doing a character that had 2 lines, and in the next episode, I might have 30 lines. So there's not an answer to how long does it take me as the actor. I mean, there's a better answer for how long it takes, like for the studio to record like a whole episode, but they don't record it 1 episode at a time. So they would spend a few weeks recording several episodes.
Right.
So I don't know. It's not a very straightforward question to answer, and that's very difficult for me to answer. But yes, I mean, you would definitely work on more than 1 episode at a time. And like you say, the animation is done. So that we're not doing anything with that. We're recording the dialogue, matching the mouth flaps, and the standard way that anything is dubbed as far as creating a new language version of an existing film or TV show is that you have 1 actor at a time in a studio watching the film or the animation and you're trying to match the mouth movements, basically, or at least like start and end at the right time. That's really what you can hope to do, is start and end at the right time. Because for anime, for example, for the vast majority of it, it's not actually animated to match any language. They're not animating it to match Japanese or any language that has ever been spoken by any human being. It's just a little cartoon mouth. It's opening and closing. That's it. That's all they're doing. So it's not matching anything. So really, if you start and end at the right time, you're golden. But that is the standard. So in other words, if there was an Italian movie that was being dubbed in French, that's how they do it. That is the standard way that you create a new localized version, a different language than what it was originally done in. So if the Japanese are dubbing, the latest Mission Impossible movie or whatever, they're doing it exactly the same way. One actor at a time doing all of their lines in that movie or that TV show. Cool. That's how it goes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Has that changed kind of post-COVID at all? Or because I know during COVID, a lot of people did a lot of things remote.
There was some remote recording during COVID. It's not really ideal for this type of recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious.
I am so sorry. Can you hold on just 1 second?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, just 1 second.
Phone call.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. I never knew that they just, like, it's not made for any type of language. It's just talking. That's interesting.
I've also been pronouncing Evangelion like wrong, man, forever. So yeah.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, learn new things. All good. Yeah, I want to go. As soon as we're done, I'm gonna go put on an anime and watch the mouth flaps. Yeah, I'm just there you go. What's going on? So yeah, no, full on. So yeah, I plan on. Also, just gives me an excuse to go watch anime. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
There you go.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Don't be. It's good.
No worries.
Okay.
All good.
Okay.
No, all good. We were just joking around. So yeah, we're gonna go watch anime after this because now we want to catch the mouth flaps.
Yeah.
I told Todd I never knew that they didn't make it for a specific language.
No. It's not, for the most part. Vast majority of anime, particularly anything that's made for TV, they just don't have a budget for that. So usually with most Western cartoons, it's pre-lay, which means the voice tracks are laid down first, and then the animation is done. So when you're watching Guy or The Simpsons or the Flintstones or whatever, it kind of looks like the mouth is moving to say the words that the actor has recorded because they're animating it like that. They're doing that on purpose. Anime is not, that's not usually, if you're talking about maybe like a Studio Ghibli Miyazaki film, yes, they will do a pre-lay recording and animate it to match the mouth, but no. For anime, no, it's mostly just it's mouth flaps. It's just flippity flapping. It's just opening and closing. Sometimes their mouths will even be like in a triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these weird shapes that human mouths can't really make. But like I say, you start and end at the right time, and that's all you can do. You're good to go is you start and end at the right time. So.
Mind blown
and
already.
I was about to say you learned new things.
Yeah, they did allow. I didn't really do any remote. Well, I didn't do any remote recording during COVID, like from my home. I have done remote recording, like where I'm at a different studio than the main studio where they're recording. Like when we did the rebuild films for Amazon a couple years ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, those I recorded, like I was in a studio in Atlanta And, some of the actors were in a studio in Houston. The main studio was in LA. The lead actor on the show, Spike Spencer, he actually was recording at a home studio at his apartment in Gold Coast, Australia. So,
wow.
yeah,
Nice.
we were all over the place when we were recording on that.
That's fun.
It's not ideal for anime because you have people in all of these different physical spaces and recording on different microphones.
Yeah,
and
sound,
of course, when you're
quality
watching
and everything, and
when you're watching the anime, all these people are supposed to be talking to each other in the same room.
Yeah.
And that's a little difficult to do when the people aren't actually in the same room. So that is one of the things about anime, for the most part, that does set it apart from a lot of other types of voice acting, where, there's a lot of stuff that I record here in my home studio, but anime, not so much. I mean, we'll tell people all the time, if you are really trying to work in anime, you're going to have to live where it's being recorded. That's just a fact. You're going to have to live where it's being recorded, because the people that were able to work remotely during COVID, that wasn't like, hey, I'm going to work on my first anime, let me submit my resume right now. No, that was not that person. This was like the people that were recording remotely. Those are people who have been doing this for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, whatever. It was the established people, not, some young hopeful upstart that's like, I'm ready to get my first gig.
Yeah.
Nope. Sorry. Not your day. But
I love it.
That's funny. So now that you're you got your first call, you're fully invested in anime now. Do you watch anything other than kind of the stuff that you're in? You watch any other anime?
Yes, I have from time to time. That's waxed and waned throughout the last 30 or so years. I've watched plenty of anime that I wasn't in. Absolutely.
What's your I'm fairly new to anime, like in the last probably
totally all right.
Probably like what? My daughter's 10, so probably last 10, 11 years, something like that. Still fairly new. What's obviously the I'm butchered, I apologize.
Evangelion.
Yes.
I've been saying it wrong for years. Like that was one of my big takeaways. As soon as you said it, I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing that so wrong.
You know what? That's why a lot of people just call it Ava.
Yeah, there you go.
Ava.
Right.
I like it. Okay.
Right.
So what's a good recommendation to start with?
Oh my goodness gracious.
What are some of your
favorites? A lot of that would depend on what you like to watch, because one of the things about anime that's so great is that there's every genre. Anything that you like. If you like mysteries or crime or science fiction or sports anime, sports, there's an anime for that. So whatever you like, there is an anime that fits that. I will tell you two of my favorite ones. And one of them, it actually surprises me that it is one of my favorites, but it is a show called Parasite the Maxim, which actually is kind of sci-fi and horror. And I really don't ever usually watch horror, but I was the script writer on that show. I'm not in it, but I was the script writer on it. And based on a manga from Japan that is started like in the late 80s. And what happened decades ago was that the Jim Henson Company, the Muppets, right? The Jim Henson Company bought the rights to it. So they had those rights for like 20 years or something. They had the rights and then never did anything with it. They never produced it. So the manga came out in the late 80s, and the anime didn't come out until like 2015 or something. And that's absolutely, it's one of the best things I've ever watched, animated or not. But Parasite the Maxim, I love it. Definitely not appropriate for your 10-year-old. I mean, no. Not at all.
We're still working through Naruto with her.
Yeah.
That's
I tell you,
grab.
One of my other favorite shows, which absolutely would be great for her, is another show that I worked on called Deno Coil. It's Dennoh, Dennoh Coyle.
Okay.
And pretty much all of the characters in the show are like 11 years old. They're all about that age. And the main two characters are both girls. And the show is just, as the kids say, has all the feels. But it's just a beautiful show. It's a really, really wonderful show. And both of those shows in different ways sort of have an existential quality about them. Like, what is the meaning of our existence? What does it mean to be human? And, sort of our place in the universe and things like that. But those are really two of my favorites. And Evangelion has a lot of that as well, that sort of existentialist quality, but also I would say not appropriate for a 10-year-old.
That's fair.
All the main characters in it are 14, but I don't even know if it's appropriate for a 14-year-old, but that's theoretically the audience that it's aimed at.
Yeah, Dennoh Coyle. I'm gonna check that out.
But Dennoh Coyle is it's a beautiful show. It's a great show. I mean, I can't imagine anybody not loving that show. It's just a wonderful show. I love it so much. And it actually was originally made in 2007, the anime, and for whatever reason, it didn't get brought over to the U.S. until like about 2016. And it's kind of set in the near future. And the kids have these glasses. So they all have glasses that they wear, and the glasses kind of have two purposes. Number one, it's their phone and their computer. Like they answer phone calls on it. They take phone calls with their glasses. They search things on the internet through their glasses. And it's also like an AR thing where there's an overlay. They can participate in this artificial realm that's overlaying reality, which is very cool.
That is cool.
And when the anime was released in the US, it was right at the same time that Pokemon Go was like going bananas.
Yep.
And we were saying, oh my gosh, we just released a show about it's really happening. Yes, yeah. Dennoh Coyle is like really that's Pokemon Go. It's crazy. So prescient, but
that's nuts.
Yeah, those are cool. Two of my top picks for sure.
All right. Well, we're both likely going to check those out, and when we run into each other at Grey Ghost in a few weeks, we'll probably let you know how awesome they are, and that we appreciate the recommendation.
Okay.
So I know we've just crossed over to 9:00, so we've got one last question for you.
Okay.
It's all good. So we got the one last for you, and it's just a really simple one because we know there's a lot of aspiring voice actors out there. So, what advice do you have for any individuals who are trying to kind of get in there and make it, as a voice actor?
Well, what I tell people, if they're looking to get involved in any kind of acting, is, it's all about the acting. And whether it's voice acting or camera or anything that you want to do, that's really where it all starts. And I think now is a great time to get involved in any sort of acting that you want to, because there are so many outlets, so many opportunities. You can start your own podcast. You can start your own YouTube channel. People, TikTok. I mean, people start their own thing. But there are so many ways to network with other people. I think the important thing is just don't let yourself be held back by constraints, or like I was saying about anime, that you really do. If you want to work in anime, you really do have to live in places where that's being dubbed. So like Dallas, Houston, LA, those are kind of the main places. A little bit in New York, but it's really Dallas, Houston, LA. But if you're not in one of those places, or you can't get to one of those places, it doesn't mean that you can't do something. Right. There are all kinds of projects on the web. You can work with, if you're just getting started, you could work with somebody who's developing their own video games, or somebody who's making their own animation online. There are a lot of opportunities that you can just get your feet wet. And I always say, start wherever you are. wherever you are, there's something going on. There's a local community theater that needs you, that wants you to come and participate. There are student films happening. There are all kinds of projects that you can get involved in. And that's what I think. I mean, yes, I got a call from my old buddy Tim saying, go to this audition for Japanese cartoons. But the reason that he called me is because he knew that I was an actor.
There you go.
He didn't just, go through his Rolodex and call every single person he knew. He called me because he knew that I was an actor.
Yeah.
So, and I will say, over the years that I've been doing this and meeting many, many, many other actors along the way, they all have a kind of a similar story. Like, I was working on a independent film, and I heard about this audition from a friend of mine. It's like, hey, you know what? Maybe you want to go and audition for this anime. So that's how you learn about other opportunities, is you just get into it. And when you're in it, you're going to meet people that are going to say, hey, there's a play at this other theater that's being produced, or my friend's casting a student film, or I know somebody who's a game developer, or whatever the thing is. So, but if you don't put yourself out there, if you're not doing it, then no one will know. So you just got to do it. You just got to start. Yeah.
The Nike motto, just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. And Grey Ghost comics right there.
Yep.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So September 9th, I think it's around 11. Does it open around?
I'm thinking like 11 to 5. And,
11 to 5. All right. Oh, 5.
And I will be there. Mm-hmm.
All right. We might cut out early, but we'll be there too. But yeah, so if you are in the Tifton, Georgia area, or South Georgia, or anywhere further, and you just want to make the drive, Tifton, Georgia, Grey Ghost Comics, September 9th, 11 a.m. Tiffany Grant, voice actor of Asuka and many others. And then also some comic book hooligans. Also Jason Flowers, who's an artist, done some awesome work with The Last Ronin. Steve Ekstrom, who is the head editor for Sumerian Comics.
Who's also been on here, so go check.
Who's also been on here, yeah. And then Dan Farga, who's an artist as well, and storyboards for Marvel and DC. So it is going to be a fun event. I will tell you this though, people. Get out there early, because there are going to be a lot of people there, and the store has expanded, but still, you want to get in there and get in there, that way you're not rubbing elbows or waiting outside while people are coming out. So get in, talk to Tiffany, have fun, enjoy yourselves. Go check out Grey Ghost. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, and thanks for your patience with all of my weird technical issues. So
again, it's Verizon's fault.
Guys.
We get it.
It is.
Verizon's fault.
Verizon for sure.
Freaking Verizon. So, all right, everybody, y'all have a great one.
Thanks so much, you guys.
All right.